One of the greatest things that you can sell as a digital agency are Facebook ads. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can sell this stuff. I'm just going to write it down right away. So, Facebook is great for some of the following. It's great for video marketing. It's great for lead generation. It is also great just for any kind of sales. It's also great, like I said, for that awareness. If I can spell and not be dyslexic. Boom. Now, some of these general things that you're seeing here, and the reason that I wrote some of these down is I want to talk about each one in detail for what kind of campaigns that you can run and what type of .com is a resource. There's another great gentleman named Nick Kuzmich. He's an incredible Facebook ads expert who also has a training program. I'll put his link below for you guys too, that way you guys can go get his training. I met him at an event called Secret Knock. But anyway, Facebook ads and how to sell them. So video marketing, lead generation, e-commerce, sales, and awareness are some of the key components that you can go into the marketplace and leverage for getting individuals to come in and use you as a digital agency to create their Facebook ads. What you will need internally, just in case you don't know what it takes to execute this, is either the knowledge yourself to do it, and you have to do it. You have to hire a digital marketer who's great at Facebook ads if you want somebody else to do it instead of you having to do it. You'll also need somebody who can write copy. Okay, because it's worthless to have a Facebook ads expert who can't write copy. No bueno. You also need somebody on Facebook side to typically go in and help you with some kind of account management or support when you run into any issues. If you guys need a Facebook rep of some kind, I'll put the link below. I'll show you guys the cheat sheet on how you guys can get into that. But anyway, moral of the story, video marketing. Let's start there. When you're in the marketplace, a lot of people and a lot of brands fall under the visual and the kinesthetic category, which is a whole other video on in the sales and positioning phase. But the VAK system, which stands for visual, auditory, kinesthetic, are the three different ways that people can take information in and put information out. Video marketing is one of the greatest ways to tap 2 out of the 3, which are the 2 biggest out of the 3, which is visual and kinesthetic. Visual meaning that people need to see things, kinesthetic meaning people need to take action or feel things. That being said, video marketing is one of those. Custom made, efficient to make, cost effective on your end, but generate massive results depending on the type of campaign that you want to run. Video marketing is going to be one of your greatest assets. You can also have a simple camera setup for the business owner to shoot whatever it is that they need to sell for whatever the intention of the ad is. It's inside of Facebook. So Facebook ads on your end are much more efficient than what you would use an actual advertisement for, because an advertisement is going to take them away from this altogether, and it's just going to show the landing page. It's going to take them out of Facebook, keep them in the Facebook browser. Moral of the story, you have more efficiency with video marketing. Now, if you are out and video marketing expert. The reason I say video marketing is going to be something you're going to need to sell and learn how to sell inside of Facebook advertising is because there's a lot of buzzwords that you're up against as a digital agency owner in the marketplace. People will always be out there saying, well, do you know how to do Facebook ads? And do you know how to do video marketing? And do you know how to do chat bots? And like whatever other words they read inside of articles they're going to ask you about, you should add those as services inside of your business. For now, related to Facebook ads, video marketing will be one of those hot buzzwords. Chatbots will also be another one, which are an incredible tool to talk about in a whole nother video. That being said, how are you going to use video marketing? How are you going to use the basic ads that you come up with or the basic ads that you know you can create for a potential client? Well, you can go to anybody in the marketplace via email or via whatever other medium, Messenger, LinkedIn ads, in person. You can also go door to door. You can be making cold calls for this stuff. And you can tell people that you can be generating leads for their business. Cool part about Facebook is you can also send foot traffic to physical locations by doing in-person giveaways or some type of printable coupon on the internet that somebody has to print off and take into a location if you have a more old school market where you're trying to drive foot traffic. That being said, if you're trying to drive in-person sales as well, just to touch on that category really quick, you'd also want to have some kind of printable coupon or something that physically drives the person into a location with something representing a transaction for tracking capabilities online. That being said, if you're having a lead form or some kind of web page you created just to capture information of users, which is a great asset you can upsell somebody on as a digital agency owner, it's not that hard to tell them that if you get more people that they're in communication with, they can make more sales. All business owners can typically make sense of that. Most people are going to want you to sell on a result basis if you are going into their business and telling them that they can do lead generation or sales. That means that you're going to have to tell that person, hey, I have the ability to get you X amount of leads, and I have the ability to get you X amount of sales. Don't sell that way. There's a bad way to sell, because the person is then going to have that number in their mind. If you are going to sell on results for leads or sales, only sell on the undersell, over-deliver mindset. Don't over-deliver on a result basis. You'll blow yourself out of the water every time, because if you do that for every client, you have to over-focus on every client, and your team has to over-focus and over-deliver on every client, and it becomes a near impossibility, or at least a highly improbable thing that's going to occur. E-commerce sales. Anybody that you find in the marketplace doing any kind of online transactions, they're obviously an incredible prospect for Facebook ads, because obviously they're selling online. Facebook ads, once again, is another mechanism that can drive traffic to an individual's business. So if you have the ability to drive traffic to somebody's business, and you can pick the intention that you are going to get the traffic there for, they are going to find value in that, and they are going to want you to execute it for them. Once again, you have to understand that you're going to be creating images through a graphic designer for Facebook. Manning the operation, or managing the person managing the operation, to actually get them a result on an over-delivered basis after you've undersold them. Now, to generate the actual leads for these types of things, the best place to do it is Facebook. You can go to facebook.com, in the search bar at the top, and in any particular industry that you want to go into, you can go in and search in the search bar at the top. There's several options that you can see at the top of the page, such as pages, groups. You can find communities. You can go out of your way to just search top posts or all posts to find anybody that's posting about a specific keyword that you type in. If you want to find chiropractors, of course, you'll commonly type the word chiropractor or chiro in there, and you'll narrow it down to a specific location throughout the United States or the world where you want to go and work. Now, if you want to obviously go and expand outside of Facebook a little bit to find people who need to do Facebook ads, you can do the same thing inside of Google. You can go and type those same keywords that you're typing inside of Facebook in Google, specific locations, find specific people who have businesses, try to see if they're on Facebook. And here's the cool part about Facebook ads. 95% of people aren't doing shit with them. And if they are, they absolutely suck at them. So if you can come in and do a simple break-even campaign for them, where they have the ability to spend $1 and make $1, I bet they'll still do it. But the cool part about Facebook, you might average, like I do, about a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 return, depending on your abilities, either yourself or through your staff, to execute getting results from these people. That being said, if you find these people on Facebook or on Google or on LinkedIn or whatever other medium online in which you found them, just be sure to get in communication with them in more than one way. The most efficient way that you can actually generate a lead for Facebook ads is to not only contact them through Facebook, which they might not be checking a lot, especially if they don't have a lot of engagement and it doesn't look like the page is that active. They might check their LinkedIn, but I'm a CEO. I don't check that LinkedIn. I don't check my LinkedIn that much. And when I do, it's not a lot of messages that actually pertain to things that I want to see. So still, that conditions me not to. I found the same in other executives and people who run businesses. 3, if you contact them via email, sometimes people get a lot of emails in a day, or they might just ignore yours, or you might go and spam. Businesses, especially in small local markets in the Midwest or in anywhere essentially other than the large cities inside of your state, aren't going to be doing Facebook ads. They're not going to have relativity to what it can do for them. How can you prove to these people that any of these campaigns are going to work? I'm going to tell you how. You open up Facebook and you go right to the ads manager. You can do this in person with them because it's really easy, and it's a very truthful way to actually represent how many people you can present ads to and what the intention of the ads can be. So if you are in person and you get the opportunity to present this information, remember this. If you are not in person and you get somebody on the phone or to reply to your email or to one of your messages, your intention should be to get them into a live Zoom meeting or GoToMeeting or webinar room of some kind in order to do a live video conference, maybe even Skype, to show them the Facebook Ads Manager for their potential market penetration they could have if they choose to use you as a specialist and go into Facebook ads. Is that they still get to see the value of how much they could be making from Facebook ads, even if they choose not to work with you. So you need to tell them that. You need to say, listen, even if you give me this time right now and it's something that you don't find value in, guess what?
you don't have to work with me. You're still gonna get value out of it because you're gonna see exactly what you could do on Facebook. I'm a Facebook ads expert. Right inside of Facebook, show them it can be to send traffic to a website. Show them it can be for conversions, and tell them what a pixel is. Explain to them about remarketing and how you're gonna be able to target people who have no idea who they are. Show them that you can target their existing email list. Show them you can target their existing web traffic if they have a Facebook pixel on it. Show them you can target their competitors. Give them all the data for who they could target. And as soon as you get to option number 2, where it's the targeting section, you absolutely need to show them the targeting. That's what's most critical about this entire part of getting them in a video conference. Here's where things get real for them. This is where you're asking them questions where you're able to gather data on their business and on what you're going to do for them in the future simultaneously. You're in a position where you want to go into the targeting and you want to first say, okay, so where's your customer? You know, where are they at in the world? Oh, they're in the United States. That's great. Let's do that. Okay, great. Okay, U.S. Are they male or female? Oh, both. Okay, great. Are they? How old are they? Do you know? I have no idea. I mean, maybe they're between like 18 and 35. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll do 18 to 40 just to be safe, right? And they're like, yeah, sure. At this point, they're starting to understand what you're doing because obviously the first questions you have to ask them are very general. That's what you want. The first step to somebody understanding anything is understanding one thing. Then everything else becomes real for them after they have one foundational piece of communication established that they understand. That being said, roll right into the next part of it. Go down right into that little bar that says detailed targeting and show them first, explain it of how many targeting options there are. I think the real number is there's like 388 or 288 targetable options inside of the actual lists under the demographic, interest, behaviors, and more categories sections inside of the Facebook ads. The demographic, you're gonna get interests and you're gonna get the behaviors category. And then obviously you're gonna get more categories. Now explain these to them. Say to them, so listen, potential client, as we're here on this video conference, I want you to get a reality with this stuff at the same time I'm just showing you your potential market penetration. You see, your demographics, very broad, behaviors that, very broad customer data that people can't change about themselves. These are things like their financial those kinds of things, right? So demographics, things people can't change, just characteristics of an individual. Now, interests are pretty cool. Interests are gathered through Facebook, and to be honest with you, be quiet about this, all other websites on the internet. And Facebook is collecting everything that you're interested in. So if you go out of your way to buy designer clothes, they actually put you in a luxury category where people who sell luxury items can in the future target you based on what you did and what you purchased. To be tracked for that kind of thing and then targeted in the future by advertisers. And it's only getting more expensive, so that's pretty cool. Behaviors are things that we actually do. The pretty tricky part about this potential client is this is the creepy stuff that you hear about from Big Brother and how Facebook owns all the data in the world. This is true. Check this out. Behaviors are the things like what you spend money on, when you spend money on, where you go shopping, where you're spending money when you're shopping. Literally if you're purchasing online, if you're purchasing offline, if you take out cash in high frequency, if you buy candles on Tuesdays, or if you get your favorite smoothie every day of the week at 7 a.m. I can target you on everything that you actually do here. I can target you on your trips that you made. I can target you on where you originally came and where you behaved and where you got to because of that behavior. Everything that you can't change that you just actually do is also tracked and measured through Facebook. So have you broke down your potential customer or your current customer in those 3 categories, potential client? And they're typically like, and they try to come up with some kind of some people really do know, and they actually will tell you. Other people, and most people, and majority of people will just be like, yeah, so, they're male and female, and then they'll start kind of going on. Help them out a little bit, Don't be afraid to drop down the demographic button and be like, okay, well, how much money are they making? Are they between a certain income level? Do they have a certain kind of job? And read things off to them. Give them a reality with who their potential customer is and let them make it is the important part here, okay? Help them out a little bit, but go through each one of these. Go from demographic, interests, and behaviors. What you're trying to do here with this visual presentation is not only show the potential number of people through the reach option for how many people you can potentially target, you're also just showing them the expansive capabilities of Facebook as a whole, giving them value with the reality of what Facebook advertising is. That's what you're showing them here. So anyway, as you're dropping down all the options for demographic, interests, behaviors, you're selecting things, what's happening on the right-hand side of the page here is you're getting an ideal audience range. So most of the time, Facebook, if you target the United States, targets about 120 to 220 million people, depending on who you immediately whittle it down to. If you start whittling it down further with demographic, interest, behaviors, liked pages, connections, audiences, anything like that, lookalike audiences, you are taking that big number and you're just and you're whittling it down. You want to tell the person the ideal targeting range is between 50,000 and 150,000 people. That is the ideal targeting range. It's a good budget range. It's good to get in front of people more than once, and it shows that you've actually whittled down a good audience of people that you actually think are your customers. That being said, once you get right around that range or you get a little bit above it, you have to now show the person by scrolling down past the targeting a little bit, past the placements options where you go into budget, and this is where things get real. This is where you're actually like building out the future proposal in a sense, but you're also giving the person a reality with what they're about to spend. So based on what the person spends is based on how many people they reach out of the amount of people they have selected as targeting. So let's use the example that I have 250,000 people that I can target, okay? That's my reach, okay? $50K to $100K. If I spend like, whatever, in this example, $1,000 a day. So you would tell that client, you'd be like, okay, so if you spend $1,000 a day, let's just take the average here and say that we hit 75,000 people every day, okay? So if we have 75,000 people every day, well, 250K divided by 75, it's gonna take us roughly 3.5 to 4 days just to hit a full 250K. So if we wanna be in front of these people every single day, it seems like we're gonna need to spend about $2,000 to $2,500 per day. Now, if you want to hit these people every 3 to 4 days, which is a good range potential client, that means you're going to get in front of them with the same ad or whatever ads we change it to every 3 to 4 days. That being said, if you do that, average close happens between the 5th and 12th follow-up attempt. So by week 2.5 or week 3, we should be in a position where we've hit these people at least 5 times and we start cracking some serious conversions. Until then, I would tell you, we'd probably have about a 3-week window where we might not see any results, but we'll be working diligently to convert people in real time that we're getting to click through to your page for generating leads, for generating you sales, for generating you in-person sales, or for that awareness you're looking for, depending on what the campaign type is. All in all, that's all it's going to take. X amount of dollars reaches X amount of people out of our total targeting range. Now we have to talk about the ads. We can do a video, we can do ad create, we can create images, we can do a straight lead generation ad, we can do a canvas ad. What would you like to do, potential client? Let's check that stuff out. So after you've built out the targeting, this is in your video conference once again, after you've shown them everything inside of here and you've said, look, here's our total range of people we can target. Look, here's how much money we have to have towards it. Look, here's all the options for your perfect customer you just built out. Right now in this person's mind, they're pretty sold on all this so far. They have a reality with what you're talking about. They get it. It's easy to understand. You've shown them the actual visuals for the targeting. Great job. If they are not going to get in the video conference with you, you may want to take the time to try to build out their ideal customer in a very quick way. Screenshot these things, send it over to them in an email, and then show them that you could have them build out their ideal customer to get that ideal targeting range, to get a custom Facebook ads campaign built that you can execute on for them. But first, which is the ad creative. Now at this point, this is the best part, okay? Because you can't execute this part without action. All the targeting and they get the reality of what it's going to do for them, and you're like, hey, listen, so the last step, okay? The last thing that we have to do together, potential client, is this. To build the ads, to send the traffic to that page to get that result you're looking for. Let's check it out. Scroll down to where everything's all empty and let them see that it says you have to upload photos or a video or something, and start telling them, be like, so Potential client, this part's pretty simple. At this point, in my digital agency, we would create Facebook ads for you. You see, we would create the visuals, or we would go get a simple video explainer executed for you by our internal video team or our outsourced video team. That being said, every other day based on which A/B test is working better than the other. We shut off the one that's not working, we create another one, so we're always A/B testing. What we do is the same thing with the copy, with the creative. We're also changing our images up, changing our video marketing up if we need to. If you are open to shooting a video for us, we can give you a script. We can help coach you on what we need done, and we will look for that from you. But in the meantime, we'll still create these ads for you. We have no problem. It's really easy for us to do. See, all we do is we press this upload button here, we import the images, we type up the ad creative. Anything now that is like holding them back on the inside is going to come out. It could be anything. It could be whatever was in the targeting that they didn't ask you. It could be something from the first step. It could be like, so who are you again? Like, can you do this stuff for me? It could be a bunch of stuff. Anything can come out here is what I'm trying to tell you. But anything that does come out, you need to be prepared for it, and you need to understand that you've officially transitioned into the close. Okay? Once you've shown them that third page where it's the ad creative and you've got them throwing out all these questions, you're in a different phase of the sales cycle now. Okay? It's time to close them up. It's time to let this individual know that you are prepared to do the work and you are prepared to execute the Facebook ad strategy for them. But you need to send them an agreement so you can have the strategy session to talk about what ad creative and what's necessary, but you gotta have the agreement done first. What email can you get that over to? You know, you guys gotta be in a position where you are always ready to say to this person, listen, I'm glad that you're excited. Time tomorrow that's good for you where we can have a strategy session. On the strategy session, we're going to talk about everything from the type of ad creative we need. I'm going to go in and do a little auditing to make sure that that's the perfect audience that we can target, and I'm going to make sure that you're in a good position to be educated on what we're about to talk about together and what we're about to execute for you in order to run these Facebook ads. So what time works tomorrow, and are you going to be able to sign the agreement for us tonight? Now, at this point, same thing, last one. Just send over the agreement. Get everything executed between you and this individual. Always put legal work between you guys, not a contract, just an agreement. You can download that below. What you guys want to do, once again, is simply have something ready to go. Immediately, when you use the agreement below, just change out the client name, change out the price you want to charge them for. Now, when it comes to prices that you can close this individual for, I would tell you to commonly market yourself between $1,000 and $8,000 a month for Facebook ads. I've charged up to $12,000 in a month to handle some of these Facebook ad accounts, but it's all in relativity to how much you're going to generate them. If you're going to have this person spend $5K a month with you on ads, they better be making a good, $10,000 or $20,000 off of the investment, because they're going to have to spend ad spend plus just more money that you're taking into your business that you're going to have to pay taxes on. You don't want to pay taxes on money that you're not going to keep and retain yourself. You're going to spend on ads. On top of that, take on the account. You always want to make yourself seem busy, like you're going to take on the account, but you're going to give it a priority status within your organization, and you're going to focus on it in order timeline and the overall process for what you're about to go through with this client. You want to make sure that they're aware that there's a creative phase. You want to make sure that they're aware that you then have to create the ads. You want to make them aware of what the ideal timeline is for you to actually get results for this individual. Don't say it's going to be right away, otherwise they're going to expect it right away, and then they're going to be pestering you until you get them results. It's not going to feel good when you finally get it. It's going to feel like you finally caught up. That being said, if you do make that mistake, just make the person aware, kind of recalibrate their expectations. Just say that you've had to change the campaign because the other one didn't work and you've had to come up with a new plan and a new strategy. Just make sure they understand it. That being said, another pitch or another close that you can use when you're doing Facebook ads is making sure sure that whoever it is you're going to pitch is either already on Facebook, otherwise the pitch is not going to work at all. A little disclosure is that they don't have any kind of social media presence. Don't sell them on Facebook ads, because they're not sold on having a Facebook page. They're not going to be sold on doing advertisements. Great market for Facebook ads, if you will, is going to be restaurants, because restaurants need in-person traffic. Supplement stores are a really untapped market right now that I think would be a great way and a great choice for people to tap into. Merchant service companies are local organizations around you that sell merchant services to different organizations. It's also seasonal businesses. During different times of the year, different businesses need service. So go to the Halloween store when it's fall, or it's about to be late summer. Go to the company that's selling tax services during early and early winter and early spring. Go out of your way to try to find the chiropractors, the spas. Don't tap all the realtors and the dentists. Program is what's going to be the most tapped market. You guys want to officially find people that aren't being tapped within your local community. I would also go to local auto dealerships, as auto dealerships spend a ton of money but are very competitive. However, they'll help you gain more experience and they'll help you gain a greater sales ability even if you can't sell them. They'll just make you a better salesman. Property service companies or property management service companies are undermined, meaning people who go out of their way to manage buildings and manage properties. Imagine if you went to those people and said, we'd like to manage the Facebook ads for your community, so you actually have Facebook advertisements and geo-targeting for this specific location, so it increases the intrinsic value of your location. I was actually thinking of going to my building and selling them on doing some kind of Snapchat filter here, some kind of geo-targeting for their location when people come on the island, so people can come and buy the building and see units inside the building and things like that, right? There's so many things you can do and so many creative ways you can come up with things. If you live on a coastal city, sell the local boat rentals. If you live in an inland city, sell the local guy who's promoting his ATV and all of his other service little gizmos and gadgets online. Go to the construction companies who are renting out their construction equipment that they have to different organizations. Everybody can benefit from Facebook ads. There's success stories. Storytelling is the greatest ways that you can sell and close somebody. You can go out of your way to tell somebody about some success story you had with some client. And if you don't have success stories yet, success story tell with other people's success stories. Authority hijack, I taught you that. That being said, if you authority hijack other people's success stories, just don't use a success that's unrealistic for you to also obtain. Try to do something that's in your bracket of successes, if that makes sense. Outside of showing people data and outside of storytelling other people's success stories, the way that you close them once again is getting them a little bit hype on the ability for taking action, and you want to do the assumptive close. If you're not in a position to do the assumptive close, the same close applies that I showed you guys inside of the PPC strategy course, which is you having the ability to go in and say, hey, I'd love to execute this for you. It seems like you're in a great position in order to benefit from what I showed you here today. Would you like to execute the agreement tonight so we can get started early tomorrow morning? There's simple ways that you can transition from a conversation into saying that an agreement needs to occur for action needing to occur. That's the pitch here, ladies and gentlemen. It's, hey, I can do this for you. Would you like to sign the agreement so we can start taking action? It's the simplest close. It's like you leapfrog right on top of what you need to talk about, but then you immediately get off of it and start talking about action again. It's very pressureless, if you will. It's an incredible way to have a very high closing ratio of you just taking what I said alone. That being said, this has been the Facebook ads course on how to sell it in the sales and prospecting category in phase number 4. Next video, we're going to talk about social media management, how to sell that inside of your business. I'll see you guys in the next video.